What's going on, guys? Bflattened here with a brand new video today. Today we're going to be talking about Tales from the Borderlands, since there was a recent display of leaks, shall we say. Now, I just want to say right off the gate, I'm not really into leaks all that much, but it seems like a lot of this is actually official stuff, considering actions that were taken against the photo that was posted. Now, things can change, obviously, so keep that in mind. I don't know how, like, specific all this stuff is going to actually make it, so just keep that all in mind. But also be mindful that a lot of the things that is going to be said, if it does end up becoming true, would be considered a spoiler. So if you don't want spoilers on the new Tales, now would be a good time to run away. Okay, so Tales from the Borderlands 1 released in 2014, and it seems like Borderlands, or Tales from the Borderlands 2 is coming out very, very shortly, about 8 years later. The release date is set for October 21st, sorry, of this year, which is just in a couple of months from now. The display photo was shown, information was dropped, and everything like that. It's going to be releasing on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. So we're going to be getting it on old consoles, we're going to be getting it on new consoles, and of course Switch and PC. Now there's going to be three protagonists that are going to be in this new Tales: Anu, Octavio, and Fran. We don't know anything about these guys. Split into 5 parts, so that means multiple endings. It will have returning characters, probably characters from Tales from the Borderlands 1, and likely characters that may have even been seen in Borderlands 3. We're not sure what returning characters really describes, but it is going to be returning characters. And of course, just like always, decisions made will change the ending of the game, because that's how it's split into 5 different parts, how it has multiple endings. But here comes the twist. I think Tales from the Borderlands, and get your pitchforks and torches ready, I think Tales from the Borderlands is awful in terms of it being canon to the Borderlands series. Now, as a side little project, as a side little game, just for fun, to see what would play and pan out, sure, that's fine. It being canon, though, to the main story, it messes up so much. And let's go over why. So, character changes like Vaughn. We're actually looking at Vaughn right now. Vaughn was a huge character change. If you saw him between Tales from the Borderlands into DLC 5 for Borderlands 2, Commander Lilith, and then taking him into Borderlands 3. Now, different voice actor changes is fine, which is what ended up happening. Chris Hardwick ended up taking over Vaughn in Borderlands 3. And I don't remember who voiced him in Tales and Borderlands 2, but it was a different person. Now that's fine, but changing the character in-game to the degree that it was is insane. Now here he was kind of like a techie, corporate business nerd, and in Borderlands 3 he was at all times shirtless, smelly, probably near psycho, near bandit, actually. Now, there's an argument that Vaughn, in like Tales 1, we saw that he took over the bandit camp and that Pandora changed him, which is like fine, which works. But the problem with that is that with the Tales from the Borderlands placement and Borderlands 2 DLC 5's placement, it messes up that timeline, because we know that the previous thing before Borderlands 3 launched happened was Commander Lilith. So Commander Lilith is the last thing to happen before Borderlands 3, which means that Tales takes place beforehand. So Tales ending, meaning that Vaughn has his bandit camp and it's changed him. He's the exact same person in Commander Lilith. He has not changed at all in Commander Lilith. You would think that that would have already taken place and transpired, considering that that was post-events. It does not happen. It happens in Borderlands 3. So there's a little bit of a timeline mess up there because of that, which makes it so that character changes like Vaughn don't make sense. There's 4 choices, but only one is canon, and we never know what is going to be canon during the time period. Now, there's one thing I do want to show you guys. And of course, this is just going to be things that are just found with a quick Twitter search, so it doesn't represent everybody. But as someone who has been making content around the time of Tales 1 and also when Borderlands 2 was probably at its peak, getting the question every single day, is Tales canon, is Tales canon, is it was annoying because we only ever got from Randy that Tales was only somewhat canon because only one of the choices matter, and we didn't know what choice that was until they showed up in the main series game. Of course, like Scooter's death, of course, something like that. But doing a quick Twitter search, now remember the game released all the way back in 2014. We're having posts from 2019 of people being confused. I noticed a recap in Tales that it's never explicitly mentioned whether Reese canonically destroyed Jack's AI or not. There's one. Are the events of Tales from the Borderlands considered canon? 2019, again, 5 years later. We now know that the Tales from characters from Tales. Does that mean Tales is canon? There's another one. Is Tales canon? Is Tales from the Borderlands considered canon? Is it canon? Should we consider the main plot of the game canon? Like, there are posts from a couple years ago when this game released almost a decade ago, and people still don't know if this is canon or not. So that, like, removes and eliminates the impact of the story and the game if you're gonna confuse your fan base. Especially when we get into the last topic to talk about, and that's Scooter's death. Now, Scooter's death is a huge character. Big NPC all the way back from the OG of Borderlands 1. Now, we know that Scooter's voice actor was not doing too well medically, and that was probably ultimately going to come to an end, or a recast was going to happen. But putting that death in Tales from the Borderlands, when I would want to assume and guess that not a lot of people ended up playing Tales, because it's not a standard Borderlands game. It's more of a story-driven game, which is only going to be getting your story-driven fans to play it. And two, it becomes less impactful because if you're having, a good, vast, I want to say even par, maybe not majority, but, about half of your community guessing or wondering if this is going to be a canon thing or not, Shade's death, that's another one. Is Shade's death considered canon? Probably not, but it is in the game. All of this leads up to confusing your fan base. If you're going to confuse your fan base for years and years and years, well, I'm sorry, but you fail as a writer. You gotta make sure that your character deaths, especially one as high tier as Scooter, is going to be impactful. Watching the scene happen of how Scooter died is going to be the impactful part. Having you Google or look on the wiki if Scooter is dead is eliminating the impact of how the death actually transpires and takes place. All of that impact ended up happening in Borderlands 2's Commander Lilith DLC with that side quest. The one where we kind of give our last farewell and send off to Scooter. That's where the impact happened, but there was no death scene. So no, Scooter's death's impact was completely eliminated. That's why I don't like Tales. I'm really fearful that a round 2 is going to happen with this too, because if it follows suit of Tales from the Borderlands 1, we're going to be repeating that cycle of what is going to be canon, what isn't going to be canon. Is there going to be a character death in Tales? Who knows? What's going to happen with all this? I'm really curious about what your thoughts are, everybody. So let me know in the comment section what you think about my, I guess, theories, or what could be considered crazy rants. I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks, of course. Will I be playing Tales from the Borderlands 2? Highly doubtful. I'll just, Google a playthrough or something, or watch someone play it just to see what's there. But Tales from the Borderlands has never interested me, so I highly doubt I'm going to be posting content on it unless there's, something to talk about from a playthrough that I've seen. Other than that, I hope you guys do enjoy Tales. For the ones who do end up buying and enjoying Tales, I hope you guys genuinely do enjoy it. But from that, that's about me. So thank you all so much for listening. And I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. My name is Bflattened, and I'm signing on out of here. Take care, everybody. Laters.